Hello and welcome to the channel. It's Ninja Turtle, and today I'm going to talk about a recently finished custom. Promise you that this video won't take too long because there's not a whole lot to say about it, but it is Monet. This is a more modern costume, Monet St. Croix, formerly of Generation X, also X Factor and Uncanny X-Men, and this is just what she's rocking more or less. There's different versions of this costume. I went with this one in particular with the more white on the shoulders and the black gloves and stuff. There's, you know, small variations here and there over the years, but this one I went with in particular for several reasons. But we'll get into that shortly. So yeah, as I always do, we're going to start at the bottom and then work our way up. But for the most part, this is not like an overly complicated build. So as you can see, one of the biggest things here is that, like with her costume that they officially released from Hasbro, the Gen X, that one is pinless, and so is this one. I made it fully pinless. These are black pinless legs and black double jointed pinless arms on this figure, which both of which come from the first double jointed pinless female figure in the line. That would be Shriek. Obviously the reasons to go with that are you don't have to worry about the insides of the elbows or the knees because they're already black. That said, I tried to do as much avoiding of paint rub as possible. So with the legs and shoes and the arms and all of that already being black, you don't have to worry about painting. I did paint the outside, I just didn't paint the inside of the joints and stuff. The hands and stuff were already black, and the black like cuffs on the wrists, I think those come from like the Punk Storm figure from way back when. I still have a couple of those sitting around. I think the newer Bloodstorm figure that just came out recently probably has the same black cuffs. I'm not sure, I don't have it yet. But and then just some black fists from someone, maybe Emma Frost, I'm not really sure. You can use black open hands as well. There's plenty of those floating about. As far as the rest of the body goes, the lower torso is a torso from Dagger. So it's already white on Dagger, but then I remove the flesh tone paint that's there and then added the red lines and the black on the outside. So the biggest reason to use that one in particular is because the pin in the hips is already white. So we're trying to avoid paint rub by not painting the inside of that at all, and I didn't. So there's no paint rub if I move her legs back and forth and so on. But obviously the sides of that is still, you know, this is from the Shriek leg, so that's already black. But again, I did paint that. The side of the, you know, the butt and hips and stuff, all of that is painted. And then the upper torso is a white upper torso as well that came from the Lady Bullseye figure. So that being said, the pin on the neck is already white, and I did struggle with whether or not I wanted to paint her flesh tone so it can have like a lowered, like the collar of this thing, and then you actually see the neck skin on that instead of having it be a white pin underneath there. But it's a lot easier to just pop on the head and not paint any flesh tone, so you don't have to worry about matching colors and stuff like that. So I decided to just go with a upper torso that's already white. And then I still painted again, like I said, on the outside. It's just, for the most part, the inside's already white and the neck is already white, so you don't have to worry about that. And then throw in these red lines that go across her back as well, so all of that is painted as it is. And then yeah, Monet's head. So that's about it. The belt, though, that is probably the most complicated thing on the figure, I guess. I did make that myself. So the most of this belt that's just going around her waist is just the purple belt from a Medusa figure. that is, you know, the Walgreens Medusa. And then I took some Procreate putty that I had already hardened and laying around for stuff like this, and made this extra strap that's going around the back there. And then all these more like raised panels or whatever that detail you want to call on her belt is more of that Procreate putty that is cut out in little panels and is glued onto the belt as is. And then this circle, what did that come from? That came from Lady Deadpool, I believe. Her belt has like a circular buckle in the middle, and I just cut that out, removed paint and all that stuff, and glued that right on there and gave it a little paint, and that's it. And all of that is Monet. There's nothing else to say about her. Relatively simple. Like I said, the belt was the only that was the real thing that took me several hours to get done and completed and glued together, painted and all of that stuff. But that's really it. The paint on that is not all that great either, but yellow is my biggest enemy. I may also, because when I was putting the top coat on this, some of the top coat was smearing a little bit, like mixing the colors from the black onto the white, so some of the white is a little dirtier than I don't know if you can see all that great, but it's a little dirtier than I'd like in some areas, so I may paint that again with a little bit more white and then clean that up. But that's about it. So let's just do a quick figure comparison and we'll get out of here. All right, we have my modern Monet custom with the Gen X Monet. Yeah, this really just a head, head popping on there. Not much to say. This is just, of course, they're going to look the same. I wanted to make sure that they had the same head and hair and all of that. I actually wish this one had straighter hair to be more comic accurate, because she just has straight hair, like there's no wavy pattern. So is what it is. I don't plan on making any more Monet. She doesn't really have a whole big costume history in the first place. She has like her X Factor, that purple thing, but I'm good. And that'll do it. Yeah, so that's it for Monet. That's it for today. I don't have a lot to say. I do have many more projects that I'm working on, some stuff that will be very different than what you might be expecting out of a customizer. Hopefully, if it works out well, but I will show you that if it does work out. And then, yeah, I've got some 3D printed heads. I shared about that on Instagram that are going to be working their way into my customs and some other things that I'm working on as well. So hopefully I'll have hopefully like 2 to 3 more videos before the end of the year if things go well, and then an additional update to the Marvel vs. Capcom. So that was a video I did last year showing that collection, and I want to show you an update. So hopefully I would say maybe 4 videos by the end of the year, if I can hustle and bustle. But I will see you guys next time. Peace.